Hey fans, I got my Toyota Tacoma here and I'm going to put some new wheels on this baby, new wheels and tires. So these are 280, 265, 7017s, a little bit bigger than stock, but I found a set of, where are they? Bam! Found a set of these are the Forerunner Trail Edition wheels and I love these wheels. They are They've got a slightly wider offset, so they're about a half an inch wider, 1 inch wider overall on your truck, which is a benefit. And then they're factory Toyota wheels. I like that part of it. And then I also got some 285, got some 285 7017 BF Goodrich ATs. And I'm going to mount these guys on my new wheels here, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Takes two of these and a couple of other supplies, so stick around and I'll show you how I did it. First off, we got to get these tire pressure sensors out of here and put your new valve stems in, so that you can sell these guys off when you get your new set of wheels and tires on. I like to fill these up with air so I can show the new buyer that, hey, they hold air, they're round, etc., etc. So I'll link the video up here so that you can see how I change those sensors out. Another thing you're going to do to prep for mounting this tire is, and then no tire shop's going to do this for you, but I recommend it, is I would come in, depending on how old your wheels are, they could be all gummed up with all kinds of goop on the wheel. This is a new wheel. It's just had one tire on it for like 500 miles. So I would recommend that you come in here and clean this up. You can use some bug and tar remover and a microfiber cloth. Just wipe it down. This is what came off of it. Let's see. Boom. Kind of messy. So anyway, now it's nice and clean. So then I want you to just look at the profile of this wheel. You can see it gets narrower here. This is the beads. These are the beads where your tire is going to set, here and here, and then it's narrower in here. So how are we going to get this tire to fit over this opening? Let's see. How are we going to get this tire to fit over this wheel when it's supposed to tuck up underneath here? Well, what happens is you're basically going to oval the size of that tire. As you drop this down, you put the tire in this relieved area here, and now it's going to be able to push apart on the sides as you pull it down and get it over the top of this rim. All right, and we stop to give you a chance to hit that like button. And I want to also mention a couple of things. One is, why would you do this? Why would you mess with your own tires? Well, no one's going to care about your stuff as much as you do. Any tire shop you bring it to. I have been disappointed personally in the way they've treated my own stuff. I've taken new wheels and tires, or new wheels at least, and had them come back dented, scratched, dinged, whatever. And I'm a little disappointed in that. Yes, you're going to have them balanced still at some point, but that's one thing. That's one reason why I do this. Second is, you have to load all this stuff up in your truck, and then you're going to have the tires, the wheels, and then you're going to have to load your old wheels and tires and bring them home. If you've got a truck, a Tundra or a Tacoma, no problem, I guess, but still kind of a hassle. Secondly, if you've got a Forerunner, now you got to put all that stuff in the back of your clean vehicle. You're going to get all this dirty stuff in there, and maybe you don't want to do that. I don't know. Then the other thing is, maybe if you're a drag racer, that's the only thing I could think of, is if you're a drag racer and you put this slippery stuff on your tire, maybe that's not the ideal scenario. Otherwise, you're just fine. So, back to the video. I want to make sure it's clean and dry on the inside of that, because that's going to affect your balancing. It's hard to dry out the inside of that tire once it's already mounted. It's a sealed environment. So we're going to make sure, one, we want to make sure that is cleaned up. Two, I've seen a few different people use different things to lubricate the bead of the tire for when you're trying to set it on the new one. And what I recommend is some kind of tire protectant. And I wouldn't spray it on there, because then you'll get that on the inside of the tire. I would just get it on a cloth or a towel and wipe it down so that it will go onto the tire easily enough. All right, so I've cleaned the beads of the tire, and here's what this towel looks like. So just this part of the tire here. I would suggest you get some kind of tire preservative, tire cleaner, not cleaner, pardon me, like tire protectant, something like that. That's what I got here, more or less. I would suggest you get that, put it on, spray it onto a cloth, and then wipe down the tire. That way you avoid getting any overspray on the inside of the tire or anywhere else. You're just getting it where you want it or need it. So I've done that to the tire, and then I've also wiped down the face of the wheel here as I'm going to put that on. The wheel's dirty. I just wiped around the face of the wheel to keep to allow that to move more freely. So now if you look here, I've got a piece of plywood down below. I don't want to set my aluminum wheels down on the ground, on the concrete, so I put them on this plywood. Now I'm going to put this tire, boom, onto this wheel, and we'll see what it takes to get that mounted. All right, here we go. Got the tire and the wheel. We're going to set this thing over the top. Let's see, maybe I'll show you like this. So if I set it over the top like this, and I pull it toward me, it will practically push itself onto the tire, onto the wheel. So, let's see. Boom! One side to go. Now the first side is easy. The second side, not as easy. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to wedge this tire under. I'm probably going to have to, actually I'll probably go from this side. I'm going to have to stand on this thing, I think. So, let's see here. There we go. Stand on it. Now I'm well over 100 pounds, so this is a little easier for me. Now, got to this point, it gets a little bit harder as we get here, so what I'm going to do is the tire will stay roughly in this position. What I'm going to do, grab a block. I'm going to set this block under the wheel here, under the corner of this wheel. Okay, got this block under the wheel. What that allows me to do is push this tire further down. So let's see what I can do here. Oh, maybe not as easy. Now if you look right here, you see the back side of this bead is sliding against this wheel. That's why I wiped it down with that cleaner, and I also, not cleaner, wiped it down with that protectant. And then I also wiped the back side of the wheel, the rim, back side of the bead. So the back side of the bead and the rim to try to make this go a little easier. So we're getting close. And boom. Got it. Okay, now time for caveats. This is easier with a bigger tire because you've got more sidewall flex and all that. It's easier with a bigger tire. There's probably an optimal range between the tire or the wheel and rim width and the tire size and width. So if you have a really wide tire, really wide wheel, and a narrower tire, it's probably going to be really complicated to do this. So likewise, it's going to be more complicated the shallower your profile is. So if you got a 35, 40, 50 series tire where you've got a very narrow sidewall, it's going to be harder to get any kind of flex to make that happen. So now I'm going to take my valve cap off here, and we'll get some air in this thing, and I'll show you how to do that, how to get those tires, those beads set. With this combination, it's really kind of an ideal scenario. I've got my tire width and the rim width are about right, because what's happened here, the bead of the tire is up against the bead on the wheel, which is going to allow me to get some air in here. Let's see, you may have to also kind of wiggle or shimmy this around to make sure that you're getting that seat, and you can tell by the sound whether the air is going into the tire and wheel or if it's escaping somewhere. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so you can tell immediately that it's not It is not escaping out of the tire anywhere. Now, very important here, keep your hands and fingers away from the bead because there's going to be kind of a violent setting of that bead. Boom, you can see that. So it has already seated on both sides, and it's made easier by putting that tire protectant on there as a way to slide that bead around. Success! Hey, part of my goal here with this is just to show you you can do it. Give you the confidence to try it yourself. So if you did get that confidence, if you found something helpful here, give me a like and make sure you subscribe because I got more stuff coming on this Tacoma here. Probably body mount chop, lift. I've got some Expo springs I'm going to put on here. Maybe try a little something special with the rear end. Anyway, stick around and we'll see you next time.